Hi, Daniel. I hope this video finds you doing well. I know it's been a while since we've actually had the Zoom meeting, and a lot has happened since then. I wanted to focus this first part of the video just to say thank you. I know that you've been working with very little feedback, very little direction, and making some decent progress. So thank you for the work that you've done so far, and that you're continuing to do, and the work we'll end up doing together and stuff. So I want to express my appreciation, and you just not dropping the ball or disappearing and that type of stuff. So there is a decent amount of money being made here in a very short period of time. As soon as things get clicking in, I know it's going to kind of snowball. So you'll have some business coming your way with new clients, as we discussed, and I'll be handling the majority. Will be my work will be the backups, the security, the updates, hosting, the peace of mind package. So happy to close some of the sales. I'll still be working with you on some of the sites. You know, not everything will go your direction, but a lot of it. The first couple I'm happy to absolutely send to you and get you working right away, especially with the ads that we're going to end up running. I'm still working on like the LansingBoatShow.com, BluegillGrill.com, some other SpartanLawnCare.com, a few other sites, projects I have working on that are already in motion. But as new business rolls in, you're obviously part of the puzzle, part of the team. The engine performance thing, I'll update you as I know more. We talked already a little bit online about the fact that it's a Wix site, and I know we can import, export, but I know not everything ends up always working the way we want it to sometimes, especially dealing with something like Wix. So anyway, we'll know more soon. Hey, the purpose of this video is just to show you. I wanted to quickly go through the websites that you've worked on so far, and to give you some initial feedback, a little bit more direction, what I'm thinking. We can certainly discuss stuff and figure out what, next best steps. But I wanted to click through the sites that me trying to type stuff out. It's not going to happen. I don't have the time for that, and trying to word stuff properly. So I'm actually here going to, in a second, flip to the websites we've been working on and kind of give you some initial thoughts and feedback. So excuse the mess in the background. I just wanted to go ahead and, as opposed to starting out with this small little thumbnail down in the corner, I'm going to turn the webcam off and give full screen to the one of the first websites. So let's go ahead and start with music. And again, thank you for everything you're doing. I know that don't take anything personal. It's not. It's stuff that we want to improve together. So you can see here, number one, let me start off here. Thank you for doing a logo. Appreciate the initiative. Did not ask you to do that. Great that you did it. Makes perfect sense. Please don't spend more than 15 minutes creating any videos. There's lots of templates online and the software that we use. You can use deposit photos. I've got your email, and you're already set up to get into there for what you need. So you can pick off a logo and customize it from there. So, and I can always create a logo. So there's lots of different ways. Don't spend more than 15 minutes. This looks great. Appreciate you doing it. And so when I say all that, first, everything about it is great. I'm not real hip on this blue here. And what I want to talk to you about is, and please make note, for all of the videos, all of the websites that you create, let's try to keep it to like a 3-color, maybe 4-color, primary color, secondary color, an accent color. If you introduce or add another color or slight shade off, no problem, I'm sure it'll still look good. Here, what we have though, just to give you an example, this red is kind of different. It's similar, but not to the red here. And then this blue all of a sudden shows up then over here. And so we got at least two major colors. Orange makes perfect sense for Tennessee. A great idea. I don't know if you did that, came with it. However, it's great. I'm not going to take it apart to try to figure it out. That's all fine. It's just we got three different colors here happening. Then we later on, we're down here, we got the dark blue, which is okay, but it's kind of coming in. It's not a black. It's a dark midnight blue. Here we've got a black shadowing type of effect. So let's either blend that. If we want to do figure out what 3 colors you want to go with, 4 colors you want to go with the most. And, again, primary, secondary, an accent color. And if you want to introduce something else, no problem. Here we've got one of the things, this is what occurred to me. We've got a red happening over here for them to click, but then it turns blue. Here we've got a blue, and I'm not going to click it, but when you hover over it, it's not turning anything. Let's keep all the reds for, like this would be red. We want them to click on it. And then when they hover, that's fine if you go blue and then they click on it. But let's keep all the hover and the hyperlinks red to encourage people to click buttons or to click the link. And then, so let me scroll. Oh, you can see here the layout. I'm on a large screen. You've got, and there's a lot of flyouts. Again, I know you're building off of the sites I gave you. I don't know that we want all of the flyouts. Let me see here. See, there's an advantage to have just click the page and then do that, because it starts getting a little bit busy on a phone. And let's just do this, because let's talk about this. Maybe you already know what you're doing. I'd rather not have this spilling over into two lines on especially a large monitor like this. You probably already know from using Beaver Builder. Let's click this. The builder should open. And we'll do a response event. Again, you've probably already know this, Daniel. Just going to quickly do it just to kind of make sure we're on the same page. So I'm clicking here. I'm going to go to responsive editing. And I can see here the large screen. Well, no, we were on an extra large screen. And you can see it spilled over to two lines. And then on a large screen, we've got a funky looking, navigation bar, navigation menu. So if you don't, if we can avoid doing this. So if you've got an extra large thing here, and then let's click on, I'm going to have to go to the header. But I think you already understand what I'm asking. Go then, because this is the header section. I'm viewing it this way. Let me get to it so I'm not misleading you. Let me just scroll down since I'm logged in here. And let's see what this looks like on a small screen. Okay, so obviously this is not, again, you're using what I gave you, but please correct this. We obviously don't want this white background with a dark blue and losing all this font. We definitely don't want that. Enough said. I know you already understand that. Here you've got a button happening. Here this is kind of large, so this would be an example of, let's go ahead and see if we can edit this here if we can. This must be in the footer area. So you'll have, you or I, if we will use the footer area to then edit this down so that it fits on one line, even if it's only 18-point font, 16-point font, but there's no reason to spill that over onto two lines. And then scrolling down here, that's all okay. The whole all rights reserved by, get rid of the all rights reserved by. If we do, I don't know that we need the copyright. I know a lot of companies do. I'm not let's give that some thought. If you want to do it, but please clean that up. We don't need all rights reserved by. We can just copyright to the name. And again, that probably came off of a footer template that either you or I put on there. We need to figure out, I do have, so that's fine. You've got the social media buttons. They're not connected at this time. They look fine, but and they're red, which then turn to blue, so that's correct. We want people to, click on it. So with that being said, let me go back up here. Let me just hit done, and then I'm going to hit the builder and go to, let's see, templates. A lot of templates happen here. Don't remember how we got all these. Okay, let's see if the menu will show up here. No, yes, no, yes. Okay. So this is the header that you've been working with. Great. Thank you very much again for everything you're doing here. Let me just double check here for the layout. So we've got the links showing white here, and then the issue was how they would look on responsive editing. So let me go here, here, and must be down here. I'm not, I bet you that's what that is. Yeah, I'm sure that it's bouncing down here. They can't see it. So again, if you could play with this, let's figure this out, how we can make this work properly. So on an extra large screen, it spreads out, and it looks like even though here we still have something happening. I thought we had contact on the end here. So this is probably contact right here. So let's edit. Let's do style. Let's do sizing. Okay. Advanced menu, and all I want to do, here we go. I don't know, I was thinking with the text editor box, you usually got it under style, but we're in a menu widget, so it's showing up under typography here. So Let me go here, let me do, so it's, instead of locking the size here, let's double check, see what we're doing. Did that change it? Menu. I'm not changing the menu at all. Let's cancel out on that. Sorry, Daniel, sometimes troubleshooting, when you do an advanced power pack menu, that must have got dropped in there. Let me, rows. That's fine. Thanks for being patient here, Daniel. I'll get through this quickly. Quick as possible, anyway. And then shopper menu in here. And then over here, let's do this free estimate or free consultation. Free. Let's do. I don't know, Daniel. What do you think? Free consultation, free estimate. Or no obligation estimate. No, that's. I don't know. Give that some thought. If you know, we'll leave it as it is there. If we want to change it, you know, we can change it. So this is the extra large layout. That looks fine. I'm gonna, and then let's look at large. Okay, so that starts spilling over. So let's go here and move this over. Daniel, you probably do this quicker than I would here. Let's go here. 12. Let's see how this looks. It's kind of small. 14, it bounces. Let's do 12, 13 then. May not work on everybody's screen, but for here, we'll do that. Actually, I can see here, I got plenty of room. Knock that over. Let's bring that back up. Let's go back to I don't know. Too large? Maybe. Let me knock that down. A little better. We'll run with that for now. And then I think you want to flip that white to make it transparent. So that's okay. And you know, I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to exit out of this. I think you know where I was going with this. If you could please, let me hit here, here. Why is this popping up here? Why does it do that? Column settings. Okay, and then you had it as a transparent background, I believe, so that'll end up showing up okay. You wanted this white, which is okay if it, any background transparent, links, color, and link hover color, let's get that to the red. So eyedropper, I asked if you're using eyedropper, I assume you are. This is flipping, let's go here. Let's go, I'm trying to remember how we want to do that. No, we want to end up making, here, it would do the white. Maybe that'll work, maybe not. I may have just messed stuff up there. My mind started to get distracted. So let's just take a look at done, publish. Okay. Not, not the prettiest, I would say. It's so, Daniel, you can play with this. What I'm trying to make sure that this isn't too bad. Obviously, if you could please clean this up, what I did incorrectly or did not finish cleaning up. So if you could do the drop down color backgrounds, and let me just scroll down through the rest of this. Give you some other feedback because it'll take forever to do this other stuff. So I see I've changed some of the links here. Get a quote. No, there is nothing there. Okay. I tell you what, what part of it is, maybe go with an overlay that's a little bit darker. There's when it has a busy background with other lines, that type of stuff, and maybe it's because of my old age that it's not as easily to read or scan or skim because there's a lot of stuff happening in the background. So either make more of a background that's either has less busyness, or use a deeper overlay so that the text stands out more, even if the picture does not. And then this is the footer area where we talked about you resizing this so that it fits properly, and the footer area here. So let me just, I'm going to go to another one of your websites here in a second. Just let me take a quick peek here. And this was a little bit large as I'm looking at this too. That's, I know they're doing some. I know they came with the font or the theme template that you end up using. Maybe if we can knock that down to 2 lines as opposed to 3. Probably beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Get a quote, web design, that's all fine. Industry sectors, we'll change the wording here, specializing in, and maybe something like that. And then I imagine you grab this text from somewhere. This all looks fine. I'm not reading all this, but again, we already talked about the busyness. Okay, let me go somewhere else here. And I'll tell you what the thing is about the branding via Google. I was a Google partner in 2010. I qualified for a Google partner. You probably weren't born in 2010, but joking. But what was happening at that time is Google Apps is what they called it. I was a reseller provider for what they called at that time Google Apps, which included Google Drive, Gmail, but it was a branded Gmail, and some other products. Now, what happened is, starting back around the pandemic, and with the technology for 10, 11, 12 years, there were more than 80,000 people such as myself who were considered resellers, or companies that were resellers and providers of Google products. They eventually wanted to start phasing us out because they were giving us a small piece, ongoing, continued income from the clients that we were managing and reselling the products to. I still have a number of clients that are still mine via their Google Workspace account. They've changed names a few times over the last 12, 14 years, where they've landed on Google Workspace, and that includes the email that's branded. The reason why I mentioned all that, probably go ahead and drop this. I do have discount links, so if people want to set up an email that's with Google, and it's through their website domain name, that's great. We do it. I have discount codes for them. We still want to continue using it, but probably not necessarily on the main navigation menu. So it'll be probably website design, related services, possibly portfolio, or drop into the contact form. So let me just see what you've got here. Yeah. So this isn't bad. I don't know whether we want it on our primary navigation page. Not a major deal. If you do on some of them, if you don't, where would it end up being? It's probably under related services. So maybe keep all this content, of course, but maybe it would end up coming under related services that we provide. So website design is what we primarily do. What do we do in addition to that? internet marketing, search engine optimization, hosting, all that type of stuff, including branding with Gmail. Because I don't care if we do logos and stuff for clients. I've done that plenty of times. And then you'll fix these drop downs for me, please. So I'm going to end up just checking this real fast. Would you please take time? I know this is a little bit of a hassle, and I can eventually get caught up with you also, but the icons are okay. It's easy enough. I'd like to see a little bit more photos. And, again, probably not these same two people in the footer area, so maybe drop this row into the home page down low, but not so that it appears on every page. I don't know. What do you think? That's their faces a lot of times on the website. So I'd probably only want them like one time so people know, hey, we can connect with the company via Zoom or whatever we're going to use, Google Meet, etc. So please remove this from the footer area. Go ahead and use this whole row. And I think you can do File, Save As, or Save As. Save it as a global row so you don't have to recreate the whole thing. And then you just go to the home page and then use one of your saved rows. Or obviously you got the assistant on here, so you can do it that way also, which is basically the same process. Okay, and then you're using the red here. It's not bad, but I think maybe for consistency's sake, maybe don't use the red here because it's not a button. And I see the orange here. Again, we're in Tennessee stuff, so the orange is totally appropriate, and maybe that's that secondary primary color or primary color, however. But like as an example here, you might want to match this orange, this red to that orange, and then have this background on what's scrolling here to be the same orange, and then it moves off the screen. This would be removed on this particular page. Again, kind of a busy background with text then on top of it. So either a deeper overlay or a different background that's not so busy. It has less stuff going on. Okay, and I think I've gone through this. I got one more page. Thank you again for being patient. Well, at least one more page will go through right now. I think you know what we're looking for. I don't know the contact. They've got the contact and then have it here. This probably happens on every page, and I didn't mention it. Let's not. I think this is repetition, wasted valuable virtual real estate, screen real estate. So here, this background made perfect sense not across the primary navigation menu, but here it matches what we're doing. We're repeating what page that we're on. So branding via Google, then branding via Google, probably not what we want to do. I think this is fine to have this here as a header going into this, but we'd want to say something different. We'll help you get connected with all search engines, and then maybe something like that is perfect for this particular page. Yes, it's branding via Google, but we'll help you get connected with all search engines because we're not committed to only Google. Obviously, we want them connected across the board. So I think again, you can play this video slowly, make notes, go back to it, whatever. But the reason I mentioned that is that what would happen here, but prompted my eye to say something, my ear to say something to you then with my voice, is that this is kind of repeating what they're already doing. Do contact, and then there's something here that's not saying a whole lot. So I'm totally okay with an image that's got people. Something like this is okay, sure, because it captures. So you probably put good thought to that. It's showing what they're doing. But maybe contact us for friendly professional service. Add a little bit more to this as opposed to contact. So contact us for friendly professional service. Another thing I'll mention to you before I forget, because it's not going to come up necessarily elsewhere at this time. For many years, and what I had used as kind of a tagline slogan, a tagline is we cater to our clients. What can we do for you? So we cater to our clients. What can we do for you? And that kind of brings them in. We let people know we cater to whatever they want. They want this, they want that. We customize everything. Sometimes we charge them, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we, most stuff we can do. If we can't do it, or this time we tell them so, or not on their budget or whatever the situation is. But we cater to our clients, and then what can we do for you? So where would you use that? Maybe somewhere here, certainly maybe in the footer area, that's okay. Sometimes Bill dropping it in throughout the website, that's okay. For some of the websites, there may be room to fit, a slogan and a tagline, along with the name of the company as opposed to a logo. It might be the name of the company and then the slogan or the tagline. And I'm just going to click here, see what else here. Terms of service, you should be bouncing to Info 1, I believe. Okay, so maybe you copied this. Let's see. We're going to fix, if you would, please fix this, not white on white. We don't want the disappearing font. And I probably did this, so I'm just pointing out, would you please fix it? And then let me privacy statement. I'm okay if these bounce to Info 1. Let me pull something up here and hopefully these continue seeing the screen. And these may not work. We're eventually going to clean this site up as well. Again, this is the parent site for the sister companies. Sister companies all work very well together. So if someone says, I thought you were Christian Website Design, we are. I thought you were Orange Website Design, we are. So that we work very well together. We've got other people who work with us. When necessary, we all share clients. We support each other. So that way we don't get somebody confused for what's happening. What I wanted to show you was the privacy statement and frequently asked questions in terms of service. Some work went into this some time back. You're welcome to read through it. I think for now I'm totally okay because when we're getting into the privacy statement and the terms of service, I'm okay with it bouncing back to the LLC because that's actually who we end up invoicing them through is the LLC. So with that being said, if you can go ahead and come here sometime, grab this URL, and then when you're back in the website, let me see where I can get here, wherever it's at here. Let's see, we're not on Zoom. Oh my goodness. Where am I? Here we are. Should have looked for the favicon up there. So with that being said, then if you go to there, grab that URL, and then make it so that it's bouncing to the right page. So the privacy statement would go to info1.com privacy statement, and same with the user agreement or whatever. And then obviously clean up this. It's okay if you leave some data here, some text. Please make sure it makes sense or part of what's on the other page and lead them into it. That's okay also. This is the footer area you're going to fix. So let me just check one or two other things here. Free consultation and quote. I'd like that to bounce to a different form. And this is, again, I appreciate you. I know you spent time on this, Daniel. So great that you did this. Fine background. Let's just add a couple extra words here. Again, not repeating the same words, but, friendly professional service on one of those pages. I'm sure you can come up with something here also. So, whatever you want, or no job too big or too small, or every client's different. Let us know what you want. However you want to do that. So, but just so that we're not repeating the same words. And then here, and then what you had here down here. I did want a different form. So if there's not two forms, I'll let you go there. But we have a form that's a contact form, and then I'd like them to go to a page like here. And then what we want is for them to fill out a free quote or consultation form. So they could answer a couple more questions. The contact page is just basic name, address, phone number, maybe just name, email, phone number, however the situation is. For the free quote or free estimate or consultation, let's have them, provide us a little more information. Even asking, one of the questions might be, their budget, or kind of a drop-down situation where they have to pick, under 1,000, under 5,000, more than 10,000, whatever, or custom, however we want to phrase it. But let's see if we can get a little bit more, timeline too. So they answer some questions ahead of time, give it some thought, gives us a little idea who we're responding to. Accessing your dedicated expert, what do we have here? Okay, looks great. Haven't read it. this is an okay photo. You know, obviously canned. We might be able to grab something better, but you know, maybe just one person so they kind of see a friendly person who's going to talk to them online or on the phone or whatever. So, but appreciate that. We already talked about the wording here. Let me drop down. So, thank you for adding that. I don't know where that came from. Frequently asked questions. Let's see what you got. Anything here? Okay. Did you answer these? Okay. Yeah, I see a little bit of Latin here. I did not know you spoke Latin, but so you probably did not answer these. Hopefully, maybe if you started to, that's fine. I can help you with that. I think I have some of those questions answered previously somewhere in a Word document, but not. Go ahead. You know, if you can quickly think of a couple sentences and type them out, you know, have to it, and we can always fix stuff later. And I think what's lacking here, Daniel, is photos of people. I'd like to, our photos or something like we got. I know it's just a lot of white space and text, and so and you know, just maybe off to the side or however we want to do it, but just so that it's personalizing stuff a little bit more. This is really dark. This is a blue thing that I probably put here. Not a good background. I don't. So let's. I would rather keep a solid color or this all the way up, but certainly not the mixing of the two. And again, I probably did this, and but would you please fix it? And then so this would be a contact page. So something like that would be totally okay. I think this is a form. It does not look like a Gravity form. Might be, but maybe not be. So let's double check that we're not using two different form software, because this may not work if it's not the Gravity Forms thing. This blue again showed up from somewhere, and if we could eliminate this blue because it's not really part of the color scheme, I do not believe. And since I'm still on this page, I'm going to go ahead and continue here real fast. So maintenance, what do we have here? Related services. Again, we talked maybe either the icons are okay, maybe not all the time. Yeah, and this is what happened is that I'm actually in the process of being phased out. I am still a Google partner reseller, or Google, however they're phrasing us now. They've changed the terminology. Probably you're not on this related services. You know, we can help you get connected with all search engines, or you know, we have extensive Google we have a special relationship with Google. You know, however you want to phrase it. This here is less of an issue because what happens now is I'm not allowed to add new clients. I've got my current clients. If they want to change anything, I lose them. That bounces over. It goes on to a Premier account. So with all that being said, it's you know, maybe come up with a slightly different wording here. Looks like we were on this page. Maybe it's the same page and I did not pay attention here. It's the related services. You were going to fix this red to be the orange. So sorry about that. Let me get back here to our other things here. High-speed hosting. You know, you did a great job picking out images, so I appreciate that extra thought and work with that. This is okay as long as it doesn't spill over. So let me see something real fast here. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back and look at how and maybe you're already checking this to see how it's coming out on the different size devices, because we get a decent amount of traffic via obviously mobile devices. So here, and then let's go to responsive editing. So that looks okay. Medium. Again, if we could figure out, if you could go a slightly smaller font if you would. Even here, if you need to change that font, please do. Size of the logo, you can shrink all that down. But I wanted to see here. Okay, so this is what happens here. So on a medium screen, we're losing font. So again, change the background if you would. I probably added this background effect to the row. It's probably a row effect. So if you could please correct my mistake so that does not happen. And same thing here. So we would lose a client if it doesn't show attention to detail. And here, shrink this down if you would, please. That'll be a different, won't even be there. So I won't repeat myself. So let me hit done. Let me go something else. I know I'm skipping a little bit, but I think you already know what it's going to be. Similar issues on all these pages. Same thing's going to happen again, I'm sure, on a medium page. this text. I'm sure it's okay. You probably grabbed it from somewhere. So but not directly from other people's sites. But if you did, let's modify it so it fits for, Music City website design, or our team will, or we are experts at, or our services are, however you want to personalize that. So I'm going to get off this site and let's look at something else that you've done. Let's go to the Christian website design. So not sure if you've started working on this yet. Let's see. Probably too much movement. That's what I think I mentioned to you maybe some time ago, or I meant to, is let's, and I know I put the movement in. Let's not make that constant movement. It looks a little funky on people's phones or based on their connection, how pages are put together. So if we could please fix that. This looks like a really old photo because it is. I know people don't normally dress that way anymore. And so I don't know what you've done on this. If you could, obviously, when you start to work on this, I'm okay with this, 4 columns with these are call outs. If you could fix this style using the styling feature so that this styles down to a smaller font so it's all on one line. Maybe get rid of the word patient, maybe just friendly, friendly support or friendly helpful support. Services customized, your services customized or customized for you. That would be okay also. So to knock this down so we may have less words and all on one line. And then, the blue, white is okay. The blue bouncing off here. We're doing a little bit of that orange. That's okay. Not very Christian with the photo in the background. This blue's kind of so. So I would say this whole header area, let's see if you can figure that something else out to do with that. Obviously, Power Pack. Let me log in here. It doesn't look like maybe you've worked on this, so I'll pick a different site to give you a little bit more direction or feedback as you go forward. So let's see what we got. Yeah, it looks like I set you up with a login because I saw that bounce there. So we're logged in here. Let's go here to the home page. We actually wanted to go up here. So the home page I kind of went through again. Too much movement. The color's okay with the blue. Actually, I had sent you some notes. Now I'm remembering. I believe I sent you an email sometime back about the color scheme, and maybe you started working on this. Now I'm remembering on the development site. So I believe you did. I'm going to exit out of this because I believe that's what you did. I don't remember which one you're actually working on. So I'm not going to continue talking about that other than you already knew some of this stuff about movement. If you see it, please minimize it. If you're working with these columns, that's fine. Please style these to the right size. And with that being said, let's look at a different site that you were working on. So Music City, then Buckeye. That one I know you've been working on. So here we are here. Okay, so initial reaction. Looks good, looks good. This blue is showing up. Let's do the they have to do all that just for that. Is this the same blue? It looks like a slightly different blue, Daniel, from the buttons here. And I'm wondering, for simplicity's sake and to encourage people to act, if we should stick with the red and not the orange for Buckeye. But so, maybe doing the red and then using this blue, which is in the flag, but this, instead of blue, make the buttons to be red and red, but then when they hover over it, it would go to this blue. And probably same thing here. The background would be red for whatever they're going to end up clicking on, or this is a button. So this needs a little bit of space. And then it would end up being red background, white text. And then here, this is the active page, and it would be a red background, white text. When they hover over something, that's okay that it's blue. That's okay with the white. I'm okay with that. Or go with the red background, that you're, and white for hovering. But that's okay the way that is. But we don't want this would normally end up being red. so I don't want to keep repeating myself. We've already gone over these because they probably are very similar to what we had on other pages, that other website we were looking at. And what do you think, David? I know you kind of went with neutral type of graphics, and it makes sense. I see where this matches up. Please, let's make this fit one line or more on the second line. Let's try to avoid one word or two short words on the next line. If we have to reformat that somehow, larger, smaller, whatever you want to do, add a word. And then today's word. This looks like it was probably grabbed from somewhere. If they're bold, let's have them linked to somewhere. I don't think right now they're linking anywhere. So if they're bolded, let's have them linked because it looks like that's why they're standing out perhaps. And that would do good for cross-linking. Busy background again with the button. So again, either a deeper overlay so that it's just easier, especially because you got these dots coming in and then you got the dots here. And the font could be a little bit larger. It looks like it's like 12. Maybe pull it up to 14 and the headings up to 16 perhaps. And this blue is probably the same blue that's up here. It's not the greatest looking blue, I'll tell you, but if it runs for the flag purposes, that's okay. And texture call, could send a message. We already talked about linking these back to the LLC, the privacy statement, special offers. What do we have? Anything going on these pages? Okay, I'm glad it bounced here. Again, thank you for the thoughtfulness and the photos and finding them. I know it takes time and then getting them incorporated into the site, so I appreciate you doing that. What I wasn't real hip on was this effect here. And you had that on one or other pages, and I was going to mention that to you. I understand it could look good, the tab effect, or however the curved one corner, whatever. But let's not do that. It's not my favorite look, so please don't do that. With special offers, and it would be, you could add a couple extra words, special offers, different offers every month, or special offers change frequently, check back, or check back for new offers, that type of stuff, so that way people come back to it. And then why don't you give some thought for some specials and my initial special offers. We offer a starter package, and so that would be one, and it's basically almost the same thing. We just give them a much lower price to help bring in a new lawnmower guy, landscape person, somebody who doesn't have a website currently. And then we can discount, how much we charge them for the initial setup on the first website versus, someone else who's got a well-established site and we're going to recreate it and stuff. So a starter package would be one thing. We also offer a not-for-profit special pricing package. So that would be another special offer for all not-for-profit organizations. And then, again, we offer them, usually it's a discounted first-time setup, and then for the peace of mind package. And there may be other special offers. We may decide to do monthly things or whatever you want to do. So if you have some ideas, go ahead and use them and start to incorporate that. But for the special offers page, that's what I would be asking you to please create. And then let me see what else we got here. Okay, this is, these graphics are fine. The colors we're introducing some different colors on it, so too much happened there. So if you could please kind of correct that. We already talked about the tab effect, the bolding, larger font. Again, Daniel, you've done a great job. You've had almost no feedback, no direction from me. I asked you to go ahead and start more, moving the ball down the field, and we're just going to move it from, a little bit from the left side of the field more to the center, to the right, and we'll move back and forth, as we get closer to the goal. But you've done a great job with all of these, and please realize I'm just, so you're getting some initial reaction because I haven't seen any of this, and I appreciate everything that you've done so far here, and you've done a great job. Let me see what else you got going on. Graphics are okay. You know, yeah, I know you pulled these off. I probably gave them to you. They may have been the site already. This is great what you've done here. I haven't been reading all the text you've pulled in, but I trust that it's appropriate and reads properly. And let's see the about. Okay, and so again, with the background, let's figure out how we can maximize this real estate up here on every page a little bit better. You know, the backgrounds are okay. You know, sometimes a picture can be worth more than 1,000 words. And so if we're using photos that maybe say a little bit more, even though they're a background that may have a deep overlay over them, it may help subliminally to maybe look a little better, convey a slightly different message. Appreciate you doing this here. That's all fine. Thank you for grabbing this. I'll eventually change this at some time. Okay. So Daniel, I've probably rambled quite a bit. I hope that this additional direction has helped and feedback. I am going to sign off here. We're leaving for Knoxville for the next day and a half or so. So, but at least, and I know we're scheduled sometime on Saturday to get together. I'm trying to connect with that guy at that motor shop. He said he lives a couple blocks away from the facility. He would meet me on Saturday. So I'm going to reach out to him today to see if I can get something on Saturday, and then you and I will have a little more to talk about based on the conversation I have with him. So again, my goal is for him to make a copy, give us full access to the copy. I really don't want to deal with the guy's live website, even if we're pulling data off of it. I just would hate to get into something with this guy. So I'd rather play it safe. And okay, I'm going to sign off here. Daniel, thanks so much for watching this video. Wish you well, and I know we'll talk soon over the weekend. Might not be early on Saturday. I may need to change it to later on Saturday afternoon or evening or Sunday based on your availability. Again, Daniel, thank you. Full speed ahead. Appreciate everything you're doing. Very optimistic and hopeful and optimistic working with you. And I think we're going to make a lot of money and want it to be a very profitable and positive situation for both of us. Okay, thanks so much. Talk to you soon, Daniel. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.